the Olympic. Lord knows what day it is, but I'm reliably informed that the match kicks off at 5:15 p.m. on what scientists are hypothesising may well be Sunday, though they're waiting for the results of the latest solar observations on that one. No engineering works in the immediate vicinity of Stratford to worry about, though there's lots outside London, so check before you go. There may well be extra ticketing checks as well, for obvious reasons. Good job it doesn't kick off until after 5 then. Well, it seems like Liverpool are the only team to have taken advantage of the fact that Man City appear to have taken a season off. They're top, and following Chelsea's last-minute slip-up against Fulham, they're now 7 points clear. Isn't it odd that it's always the most corrupt clubs seem to be at the top? Well, no, when you think about it, probably not. Would be interesting, though, if they had been surreptitiously having talks about another so-called Super League, thus activating the 30-point suspended penalty they are sitting on at the moment, but nobody seems to mention. They were, of course, at the centre of the Cootgate scandal, which kicked off when the aforementioned ex-referee called Klopp a rather rude word. Although the description was accurate, Coot's outburst broke two long-standing PGMOL rules. Firstly, never, ever, ever do or say anything that upsets Liverpool, either on or off the pitch. And secondly, if you ever do anything wrong, try not to get caught. Daisy was rather overjoyed to discover that they made only one signing during the summer, that being the £10 million arrival of Juventus winger Federico Chiesa. He was widely considered to be injury-prone back in Italy, so it was a bit of a gamble to bring him in, and he's only made one Premier League appearance this season, having been out with various niggles. He made a return to the side during the League Cup win down at Southampton, but then was absent ill for the humiliation of Spurs, a game which most people wanted both sides to lose. He's not listed on the sick list at present, so there may well be a bench place for him this weekend. All the talk about them has been on contract talks between them and Salah and Alexander-Arnold. Salah was the subject of a massive mega bid from Saudi Arabia a while ago, and he may well relish the new challenge of finding a new set of legs to dive over out there. Alexander-Arnold strikes a good dead ball, but despite the BBC talking him up all the time, he remains one of the most overrated players ever to gain an England cap. I'm not including Jordan Henderson in that group. Nobody thought he was any good in the first place. Well, apart from the Liverpool Echo, who once ran an article asking how long were England going to persist with picking Declan Rice over Jordan Henderson, thus destroying the last bit of sporting credibility that dreadful paper ever had. They'll be missing Dominic, I've been waiting for this one, Szoboszlai this weekend, the player having managed the pretty unique feat of picking up 5 yellows before the end of December in a side for which PGMOL normally requires some form of armed assault before even thinking about a card. No doubt they'll make it up to them. Really haven't got much to say about them. With only one signing, there isn't much to say at all about this most unpleasant of clubs. So I think I'll just move on this week to the wild and wacky world of association football. And the prize for sending off of the week goes to Watford's Kwadwo Bar and for his after-match dismissal against Portsmouth. Having gained a penalty after a foul from none other than Freddie Potts, which had clearly taken place outside the box, at full-time he ran the length of the pitch to do a series of fortnight dances, whatever they are, in front of the Portsmouth fans who'd given him stick after the incident. Barr was chased down by the Portsmouth players who had to be restrained from dishing out the good solid kicking the player would arguably have deserved, before the ref finally stepped in and brandished a second yellow to Barr. Watford boss Tom Cleverley staked his own claim for Football Laitotes of the Year when asked about the red card. We have to admit he's deserved that one, being the manager's considered opinion on the punishment. And so to us then. 3 points. Not pretty, but 3 points nonetheless. The main threat was the awkward Onuachu, who was as good at making a nuisance of himself as he was as poor at finishing. The win came at no little cost to the side. Kilman's shoulder faces a late injury test, for which the prognosis does not look good. Fabianski will definitely miss out, having been knocked out, the various concussion protocols meaning he has to rest up. Soler was carrying a knee injury into the match and is another major doubt. And of course we'll be missing Mickey, bless him. We also have 2 suspensions to cope with under the 5 yellow card rule, with both Souček and Rodriguez being unavailable. Rodriguez can feel particularly miffed, being the victim of a spectacularly obvious bit of backside covering by PGMOL at Southampton. Having received the most ludicrous of red cards, Ref Smith was sent over to the screen by Stuart Atwell. Now consider that for a moment. Here was a decision that was so bad that even Atwell, of all people, knew it was wrong. However, such is the protect the incompetent at all costs culture at PGMOL these days. Instead of cancelling the card and apologising, they elected to split the difference and called it a yellow, so that rookie ref could escape with some dignity, if not his honesty, intact. There's a bit of a quickie this week, so I'm just going to move on to the prediction. It's a bit of a hiding to nothing, isn't it? Injury and suspension ravaged, and even if we give a good account of ourselves, any promising break will be dealt with cynically 10 yards either side of the halfway line, as is their wont. Just watching that happen time and time again against Leicester at the weekend was, well, rather irritating. And they will, of course, be given every advantage by the match officials. In an ever-changing world, iffy decisions that go in favour of Liverpool is a comforting constant in life. So the £2 that was going to be spent on the bet on the number of dives in the game from the visitors, I couldn't find a bookies who'd take the bet even at odds on, will instead be going on an away win. Mr. Winston make it 3-1 to them, unfortunately. Enjoy the game.